These are my friends. Come along with me, see how the story ends.
Well, welcome into the spaceship, y'all, and another episode of Professional Hippies. Today, we're running it with the ghouls and the gals out there. Welcome to the Halloween edition of Professional Hippies, brought to you by testkitplus.com/professional hippies. You too can trust strangers, especially with candy. Yeah, use your own discretion on that. Hey, today we are joined, if you're watching us, by Doom himself, otherwise known as Welfare. We're running it back, Volume 2. Today, we're going to get to the bottom of, are aliens real? What are the rituals you should be endeavoring on? And who knows? Who knows what else? But I'm not Colton anymore. What's up, dude? I'm Chad. This is Doom. And what are we calling you, Dylan? Bender Man 3?
Yeah, let's go with that. That sounds good. Miami Zombie.
Miami Vice? Okay.
Miami Zombie. I like it.
Okay. I'm down for it. What is the Miami Music Week?
Oh, it was 3 points last week. Yeah. Post 3 points.
John
I look
Summit.
too good for that. Yeah.
So I think a good jumping off point for us, fellas, is are aliens at the bottom of the trench?
Yes.
You're going yes on that?
Next question.
Okay. Got that out of the way.
100%. You see those things flying in and out of there? Why wouldn't you have one? That's the only, everyone always says, where haven't we discovered the most of? The trenches in the ocean. That's literally, everyone says, like, what's the least studied spot at all? Where are the aliens going to be?
Spot? I thought the oceans and I can hear so much better without the toboggan. Beanie, boots, whatever they are on my head.
Yeah, the oceans in general are the least like explored spot. So why not do it in the deepest spot where it's the least explored on Earth? No,
I thought you were just going to sit there looking like a serial killer the whole time. But if you want to interject, I mean, this is
finally
the platform to do it on. Yeah.
All right, Doom. What do you got?
I don't have anything. I'm just fleshing out the rules.
Okay. Was that fleshing out?
Yeah, they're definitely at the bottom of that thing. That's the least explored spot. Why wouldn't you be there?
Guys, glaze over that one. Yeah, so isn't most of the ocean just empty nothingness, though? Isn't that why we haven't explored it?
Yes, except aliens.
Can you clarify for me, what is explore? How do you define explore?
If we can't find Atlantis, how are we going to find aliens there? Aliens are like, they can't even find this stupid city that was there, been there thousands of years. How are they going to find us?
Back to the question. How do you define you've explored something? Is that when you've successfully chopped all the trees down in that square acre?
I think when you've hit land on it and then you've reported it to the world that you.
Because I've not explored every square inch of my backyard. I mean, maybe a fair amount of it, but
someone has.
How do you define? You think so?
That's why you own it.
Can I say something?
That's certain. I think you're in timeout for right now. The adults are talking. How do you define researched? How do you define claimed?
Dr. Doom has a say. Yes, sir.
I would say officially is whenever you pass the data to a cartographer, and then they put it on a map.
Isn't a cartographer?
Yeah.
So what's it's on the map?
Your map guy. Like, I don't know who your map guy is, or you like use a map.
That's the map guy? That's what those guys are?
God, yeah. I gotta get with my map guy.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Dude, my map guy hates me.
You don't have a map guy? That's why you haven't explored your yard.
I tried the map app, but I didn't really like it, so I just went with the map guy. Like, keeping it old school. It's kind of like having a lawyer on retainer.
Yeah, I tried to upgrade the app too.
And send it to your map guy.
I tried to
man, did I show you the bird app, by the way?
No, you haven't showed me the bird app.
Dude, that was sick. Old
That's
Doom
probably
and I
controlled
over
by the
here.
government, though.
I use that damn app all the time, dude. All the time.
Cool? Isn't it cool? It's like catching Pokemon in real life. We went on a very not kosher casual biking expedition through the woods. And what's it called? Merlin bird app.
Yep.
Merlin.
You just press record. It tells you all the birds around you. It like shows you like what? It's not a sonograph, is it? What's the sonograph? Yeah. So it shows you when they're chirping, and give it a couple seconds, and it'll tell you exactly what birds are chirping around you, either looking for food or looking to fuck.
So if you get like a bird chirping, right, but then you get the hawk going off, will it be like, yeah, that hawk's about to fuck up that bird?
Oh, I don't know if it's saying what intentions are.
Once, yeah, I don't think it'll. Yeah, it doesn't know.
That would be cool. That's a suggestion for them. Hey, what's this bird trying to do?
Just be like, hey, you're standing in the Coliseum at the moment. Something's going down. I would hang out for a minute.
Oh, that happens, dude. That definitely happens.
Yeah. That's actually why I have a tattoo on the back of my arm, is trying to figure out what the birds were doing.
Oh shit! There's people that like watch birds as a hobby.
A lot of them, right? What's up with that?
A lot of people, or a lot of birds, or a lot of people watching a lot of birds.
A lot of people watching birds. I understand there's a lot of birds and a lot of people do weird stuff, but watching birds is pretty high up there. What do you think watching them?
I don't think birds watch birds, but humans watch birds. But birds watch humans, and humans watch humans. So we have that in common.
You don't think there's any birds watching birds? Really?
Dude,
what about when they're doing their dance? When they do their Dougie?
Dude, there's literally an
that's
entire
flirting. That's not watching. We know what watching is. Just people watching.
Where's the line between flirting and watching?
You're trying to fuck and you're not trying to fuck.
I'd say there's a bird out there doing the bird fuck dance, and then there's another bird who's thinking about fucking, who has to watch the fuck dance and then make the fuck decision on whether or not they're gonna fuck after the fuck dance.
Okay, you're squeezing a lot of fucks in there, and I don't know if I feel offended or aroused. So
I'm gonna make that a clip, and it's just gonna be beep 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 birds beep beep beep.
Well, then we can plug in the app. Yeah, Tom, can we get the app on there too for us on that one? A little plug. Maybe we'll get some affiliation. Kickback from birds doing bird stuff. Did you guys see the conspiracy bird dude? Made it on national news and then did a TED talk.
What?
I did see the TED talk. I watched the TED talk.
Dude played the long game, being a conspiracy theorist around birds aren't real. Birds aren't real guy. Yeah, with the van. I think how long did he play that one out? 3 years? 4 years?
A long time.
Years. This man was committed to birds aren't real, starting kind of a cult around it, just to expose how silly it is that people can get wrapped up in conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, it was more of like a social experiment, almost like QAnon type thing.
You just wanted to see how, like
QAnon,
like flying spaghetti monster. They were just like, let's just see where this goes.
Except if Flying Spaghetti Monster was like, no, this is real. From the get-go, Flying Spaghetti Monster was kind of like, this is a joke, religion's a joke. This man had thousands of folks backing him up. Maybe, I don't know about thousands. Whatever. A lot of folks being like, yeah, hey, birds are robots, plants from the government. Birds don't exist anymore. I mean, shit, once you get not a TEDx talk, like a real TED talk, you've done something. You've made an impact. Rich people are watching you.
With that theory too, it's obviously pigeons they've taken over, right? But I wonder if there's a bird war that are happening. All bird? You think all birds though? You think like a stork? They were like, yeah, we gotta change that one up. I don't know.
I think pelican? Swans. I don't think you can trust swans. I look at them and they remind me of French people. Not that I don't trust all French people, but I don't trust their language.
Or a pelican, though, are they? Is the government really going to be like
easily the mafia of birds?
Yeah, but it's the mafia birds, so they wouldn't join up with the government. They would just be like, "No, we're going to do our own fucking shit."
They'd probably levy some taxes against them. Like, hey, if you're gonna bring birds through this port, we're gonna need some grease on our wings. You know what I mean? Maybe a couple of sardines here and there.
Yeah, so I was just saying, like, maybe there's just a bird war happening between birds and the government, and we don't even know it.
Well, birds was an inside job.
Oh, it's always been an inside job.
Jet fuel can't melt bird bones. That's what I say.
I keep forgetting about Birdgate 2001 when all the nests fell.
Yeah, dude. For sure, bro. I watched the footage where it looked like the bird nest exploded from the inside out.
How did the bird fly through the explosion and come out the other side? No one
Dude,
knows.
Those
That bird-
eggs were planted from the get-go. You're
Dude,
not just
you
bringing
think those
down a
were eggs?
nest.
They didn't tell you. Didn't see the birds in front of the towers. They didn't say aim for the bird. They said aim for the pigeon,
Mhm.
and that pigeon was right there. And that flame.
Why do they call them homing pigeons?
Mm, mm.
You know, everybody has the answers, but no one's got the questions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's why
I'm
that
just
guy
here
is
asking questions.
that pigeon boss in John Wick 4. You know,
Oh
he knew
yeah,
what
dude,
was
that
up.
motherfucker, man. They tried to
knew
kill
what
him
guy
and they
was up.
didn't.
What's Mike Tyson's role in all this?
Mike, I think I think they tried with him. They just couldn't get through. You know, that's why they have him. You know,
Why
that's
all of
why
a
he
sudden
loves
you-
pigeons.
You just have hundreds of millions of dollars to go nowhere, and all of a sudden now you have a big weed farm.
Well,
and a
he
bunch of
also
pigeons.
just talks. He also talks to tons of celebrities and high profile people. So if he has a pigeon in his hand, he's got a microphone at all times.
Oh, dude.
You know,
All
it's a
those
little sneaky,
microphones,
sneaky.
all those cages. Aren't we just kind of
Mhm.
like microphones and cages?
Oh yeah, cell
Oh,
phones,
definitely.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I need a Chinese dildo the other day, and all of a sudden, Chinese dildo came up. You know, I was
An
like,
ad
what the
or
fuck?
just showed up?
An ad. An ad.
Okay.
Now,
Are
I
there
mean, I
American
almost.
dildos? I thought everything was from China.
Yeah,
We
that's right.
definitely have.
Hold on.
We have
I
our
they
own
got American-
factories.
have
It's
the
probably
internet
the
right here.
weird
Hold on.
dragon ones. It's probably the weird dragon ones.
If it doesn't have "Made in America" on the side of that shaft, I don't want it.
Easy with the word weird, dude. Come on. Don't shame my yuck or whatever the fuck.
Yuck your yum.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I mean,
That should be another totem. I'm gonna yuck your yum. Like it's just let's.
it's up there with Daddy's little come down.
Dude,
I would-
Cat Daddy's
I
little
would-
content was the best totem I've ever seen to this day.
The family portrait on the back.
Oh my god, that was so fucking funny. I could not stop laughing at that for 3 days.
I just don't see. I mean, if you're gonna pick a spot, I guess a trench is the spot that you would want to go very far down,
Yeah,
right? But
Yeah.
I think I would go a little more inconspicuous. Like, you know, instead of hiding in the Appalachian Mountains or, you know, whatever that range is in Iran, like I would go desert. You know what I mean? Nothing
I like
around.
how you don't think that, just like how we burrow in the mountains, right, to create our little bases. It's funny that you don't think the aliens wouldn't burrow down into the trench and just have a door, boop, cover it back up. You know, you never even.
Yeah, but
know
that's
it's
a
there.
lot of you got to go a lot further. You know, you need more technology to go further, and I don't know. I
You
would like
say
to think
more
the aliens are like
technology?
me.
You don't think the aliens probably have that technology?
I think
You
they
don't think there's-
stopped. I think
you
they're
don't think
just
there's a
like
whole-
humans, but more developed, and they just got lazy.
Look, if it was in Star Wars that there was a whole civilization underwater, you betcha that's already out there somewhere. They know how to do it.
Why haven't they touched us? I mean, made contact with us yet?
I feel like they've definitely touched us, but making a
Why
contact's
is it
a little
always with the
different.
anal probing too? Like, you don't think they would go in a different orifice? Like,
Well, it's your mouth or your anus. Think about that. You got two holes that connect, and mouths are pretty disgusting. So
Some
they're
of
like
us have more than two.
the cleanest route. anus.
the cleanest route. I want to clarify this point real quick. You think
Yeah.
the cleanest route is not through the mouth?
Everything's been filtered before
Nah,
coming
dude,
out.
you're-
It ain't filtered
Most
going
people
in.
don't have teeth in their asshole, and teeth can be dangerous.
That's true. It cuts up
Are
the
there
wires.
some people
you got to
with
keep
teeth in their asshole?
replacing them.
There's all types of people, probably.
Yeah,
Is that
maybe
a
there's
birth defect.
maybe there's teeth
I
on in their asshole on their planet, and they come here and they're like, "Oh shit, this is nice," you know.
Look at all these toothless assholes. Hell yeah. Give me some of that.
It's they're just like holy
So
shit.
exotic.
So a little different, you know.
I'm just thinking of all the guests we're gonna have on after this episode. No, I'm not breaking character. We're good. We're good. This is gonna be beautiful. What's your podcast like? Have you heard of a toothless asshole?
Yeah.
We try to find the middle. Not today.
Like a peanut butter and jelly, but nothing but crust.
Normally we get rid of that. Not today. We leave
Not
that.
today.
We leave it on in.
Dude, they got to be robots, man. There's no way. Like, if you look at look at Earth in like another 100 years, all robots, everyone's dead. I think that
100
aliens are
years is
robots
a
too, man.
stretch. Go 1,000. Go
1,000
1,000
for sure.
and you got a
Yeah.
buyer in me.
They gotta
Just
live
birds
off
and
of us for a
robots.
little bit. Well, what are you gonna do once they've taken
Birds
over?
are robots.
You're not gonna get rid of a resource, right? You're gonna figure out how to use the resource. So we'll still be fucking and making things while we're serving them for a little while before we're gone. And they got to figure out how to live without us. Currently, they depend on us, right? We still have to maintain a little bit, things like that. They haven't created
Symbiotic for
things
sure.
to
I mean, we
maintain.
depend on them; they depend on us.
Are we talking about the
For
birds
now.
robots or just regular robots?
Not the
Well,
birds.
yeah, think
fuck
about the bird
birds.
robots are depending on us for sure. Right now, we still got to maintain them.
Mhm.
They're not maintaining themselves at the
I
moment.
think actually, the most interesting concept about robots killing all humans I've heard is like the idea that like oxygen is corrosive, and then eventually like the robots will just be like, "What the fuck do we need oxygen for? Let's just get rid of this." And then like
Mhm.
we're like an innocent
There's not
bystander to the
that much
situation.
oxygen in the atmosphere as it is, right? Like most of what we breathe in is nitrogen.
Well,
I
but
would
if
say
you're gonna be a robot, though,
19.8% on average.
but if you're
Oxygen.
gonna be a robot, though, you need grease and oil, right? Like you still need something to maintain a lubrication of pure
as it
robots.
stands right now. Yeah.
Yeah, as it stands right now, correct. And you
Right.
still need living things to create your oil. So, like, you get rid of the oxygen, get rid of plants though. I wonder if
No,
you
dude,
can
you
do
don't
it.
need living
I don't
things
even
for
know how
oil.
oil's made, but I got a feeling you can make oil without humans. Like humans are probably just monitoring the systems.
Mhm.
I didn't go to college, so I don't know. So
What kind of
it's
oil are we
like-
talking about? Like soybean oil, corn oil, like high fructose corn oil,
That's
Definitely
true. What type of oil?
crude,
crude. Yeah, the good stuff's already
Isn't
made.
that dinosaurs?
petrochemical. Yeah.
Isn't that dinosaurs? You know?
Yeah.
I believe it's like plankton is most of the
I
oil.
think it's a lot of trees too. It's like the old dead trees.
Now, if it's trees, it only needs
Organic
carbon.
matter, right?
Yeah, exactly.
it's
Just
carbon.
organic matter.
Well, so you're always going to have oxygen no matter what. You need it.
The robots
I
don't
know,
need
man.
oxygen.
Yeah,
But they
in fact,
need oil.
I fucking hate it.
So the carbon, even if it comes from plants, the carbon is going to create oxygen.
Couldn't they just strip the carbon from the atmosphere?
You know what's crazy, man?
That's
we
more
still
work,
fucking
though, isn't it?
like almost all power still comes from the steam engine. Like that's fucking wild. But I mean, you can only make steam if with
Is a
oxygen and
turbine an
combustion.
engine?
Yeah, the thing on your head, the steam one.
Besides solar and wind, or waves, it's fun when the cities that are trying to turn their entire grid to just entire electricity, all their cars and everything, but you see that nice coal train coming in, coming in to
Hell
fuel
yeah,
all that.
brother.
It's great.
Hell
I love
yeah,
watching
brother.
Honestly, I haven't seen a coal train in a hot minute. Like
that. That's how Tico's fed.
is it coal?
Mm-hmm.
Coal power?
Got a train line right into it.
Oh,
Dumps it
you
right
mean
in.
like carrying the coal? I was like, most trains
Yeah.
I thought these days are diesel.
Yes. I'm talking about. I'm
He's
talking
thinking
about
the
not.
guy in the fucking striped pajamas with a shovel who's like
Yeah.
fucking
Yes.
shoveling
Yeah.
into the train.
Yeah. What a shit
also-
job that would have been too, huh?
I bet they
Non-stop
got
shoveling.
paid. I bet they got paid a lot.
Yeah, I think it's nonstop shoveling for like probably an hour, but once it gets up and going, it's like a regular fire. It's pretty hot.
Oh,
Just-
unless you're it was like when they're climbing mountains.
Yeah, you got to keep
Right.
shoving that shit, get it in
Yeah.
there because you're pumping steam. But if you're on the plane, that sucker is probably just taking a nap.
Cruising. Yeah. You would have thought that they would have found a way to kind of like make that more efficient, aside from a dude just shoveling.
Oh, they did. It was called diesel.
Yeah, that came full circle, didn't it? Okay. I'll go take my American Millie dildo and go fuck myself.
Or electricity if some people are in Japan.
Yeah, what's up with those bullet trains in Japan? Always on time, super clean,
Mm-hmm.
zooming.
What do we got to do? I'm just trying to get
Stop
to LA in a
murdering
couple
each other
hours.
on public buses. I mean,
Yeah, or stop putting them underground.
how many people are getting shot up in Japan? Not many, probably, huh?
No,
Nah,
not
that
really. And the main thing we need to do is stop
been enough
driving
death
cars
there.
and defeat the oil industry, bro. That's my thing about fucking trains in Texas, dude. Is like, where the fuck are the trains in Texas? But apparently there's like an oil lobby that controls the government. I don't know.
Lobbies are powerful. I've
about
been
the
saying
cow
it for a
lobby?
long time.
Cattle lobby. The milk
Communism
lobby.
is the answer. Got
I've
milk?
heard that before.
What about the milk lobby?
It'll work this time.
We've been getting raw milk, and that shit is great. I don't get any upset stomach kind of stuff, gnarly farts. It's just good milk.
What do you do with it?
Should,
Drink it. Put in smoothies.
What do you do with it? A little yogurt, maybe.
Yogurt? I don't even know how to make yogurt.
You tried making your own cheese? I think making your own yogurt's like pretty easy.
Making your own cheese is pretty easy too.
Making your own butter is hella easy.
I don't know that I've ever made my own butter.
Bro, literally just pour your milk into a blender and turn it on, and it turns into
You never
butter.
did that? You never went to like a old time, reenactment museum, and you go in there and churn the butter?
Yeah, but I didn't trust that butter. I was a kid when we did that, and I was like, I'm not eating that.
I put work into that. I fucking ate that. Hell yeah. I trusted the shit out of that.
Well, as a bunch of other grubby kids. As an adult, I could have the discernment to be like, could I eat that butter? Sure. As a kid, I was like, I don't trust those other kids. I don't know if they stuck their fingers in it and whatever.
I feel like your life, your thought process was like, little flip. Like today, I'd be like, ugh, I don't want kids touch all that butter. I don't want to get on that butter.
Well, that's what I'm saying. As an adult, I trust myself enough. As a kid, I didn't trust myself at all, which is kind of ironic.
The fuck are you talking about?
Oh, now
Sorry,
you're
big
pumping the
kid.
brakes? Now you're checking in on what are we talking about?
We went
Yeah,
over
dude,
Doom's head. We apologize.
Yeah.
I
Got
thought we
it.
were talking about butter, and then like some childhood started creeping out, and how we used to be right and now we're wrong or whatever.
I think one of the greatest marketing
Yeah.
campaigns ever was I can't believe it's not butter.
I still
literally
cannot
poured
to this
oil
day
in a
believe it's not
bucket.
butter. Yeah.
They said, hey, you don't need butter. Butter's bad for you, actually. What's great for you is oil.
It's not natural fat.
Yeah.
Fuck
Take
yeah.
that. You don't need margarine. Ugh.
9 out of
Synthetic
10
is
doctors
good.
smoke Camels.
Yeah, where do they find those doctors?
Fucking, I don't know.
9 out of 10
Smoking
recommend.
section?
But that one,
Go to an airport smoking lounge.
oh man. Could you imagine when you could smoke on planes? Like they had the smoking section and the non-smoking section. One side of the plane smoking, the other side non-smoking.
You know how many
You know,
fucking
it's-
planes crashed back then too? Like a plane crashing was like a monthly thing. Like, you're just
Yeah.
like,
I mean, I had a client of mine one time that he was an old pilot, and cool story. He won the high dive at a national championship and trampolining national championship in the same year. Then went on to be an Olympian and was a pilot. So the dude was just all around badass. He said when he started flying, they would get hammered at a bar the night before, come stumbling onto the runway, and whoever could walk better had to fly the plane with a pistol on their hip.
what's
What
crazy
happened?
is like back then that's kind of a problem, but like nowadays I would be okay with that. Planes pretty much fly themselves entirely.
Except for takeoff and landing, right?
No, they do that too. I think that's the part they do the most, honestly.
Yeah, but once you get it up, it's like a
Oh.
car, right? The worst part is
You should look into it,
you
man.
know,
Yeah, for real. They do.
You're drinking and driving,
glide
right? The
slope
hardest
systems and
part's
stuff.
the
Like,
middle
yeah.
of it. It's not when you're pulling out or pulling in. It's all the middle. So a plane's the opposite.
That's what I'm saying.
A
No.
plane's the opposite though. So the
Yeah.
hardest part is when you're taking off
Right.
and then when you're landing. So it's a shorter amount of time of things that can mess up. Once you're in the middle, you're up in the air, autopilot that bitch.
That's what I'm
You're
saying.
ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once,
I think-
once you're
I
on
haven't
your
heard of
cruising
anything
altitude.
that's auto takeoff, but I know they have like auto land. But
I don't think
know.
they would be that hard to take off. You know, you
Not
press the
for
button,
anything
ease it
commercial.
back a little bit. You
Yeah.
your check in all
I
your
think
buttons.
it's more of knowing
that's-
when to go, because like your air traffic controllers are like, "Hey, motherfucker, you need to wait your fucking turn." And, like, you imagine, you know how you like cut people off on the interstate? Could you imagine being a pilot and drunk and be like, "Fuck this, I'm going now, bitch." Just
Did you guys hear the other day that pilot for Alaskan Airlines, he wasn't even flying. He was the co-pilot,
Oh,
and he'd taken
mushrooms.
mushrooms the day before and just had a ton of like anxiety the next day, tried to shut off the engines mid-flight. there was enough fuel left in the lines by the time the pilot caught like what he was doing. It just cranked right back up. But they're like, if that fuel would have run out, they would have had a serious problem.
So was he flying or what? I thought he was.
He was
not
just in
flying.
He was in the cockpit. He wasn't the co-pilot. I don't think the first mate of the plane.
I forgot what they call the jump seat. That's what they call it. The jump seat. That's what he was in there. I think.
Yeah, dude. How do you get like so much anxiety? You go, I want to kill everyone.
Yeah, and how are you a pilot and
Vegas.
you're scared of flying?
Right? What's going on there, man?
I don't understand how he had
Intrusive
that.
thoughts, brother. Intrusive thoughts. They sneak in.
Past the mushroom. Like way
And if
past
The
you're a
next
pilot-
day.
Then
You
to
know
the
how, like,
next
you have
day.
those-
That's a weird one.
You have those
Psychotic
thoughts where
break.
you're like, oh, I'm going to kill myself and everyone around me right now. Like, I know
Mhm.
you guys think that like all the time. And I
I'd
have
say all the time.
I have before that one time, and we'll talk about that later. But like, if you're a pilot, it just seems really easy. It's just like, I could kill myself and everyone around me.
And you're like, I could do it, but then you're like, oh, Jessica and Jimmy are at home though. I do it for them.
Oh,
Those
Yeah.
folks.
football
my
games
most
tomorrow. Let me go
frequent-
ahead and land.
If I land, that's bad luck for Alabama. Can't do that.
Roll Tide. Hell
Roll
yeah. Roll Tide.
I think that's the call of the void. The most frequent call of the void I get is pulling up to a red light and just
Ooh.
pressing the gas instead of the brake and just wanting to see what happens if I slam in the car in front of me. And
Yeah.
I don't do it.
Dude,
but
we were on a
I think
boat one time, and I challenged you. I was like, you have those free will thoughts, but I don't think you can act on any of them because I don't think we have free will. And I had another question beside aliens. What age do you think is the right age to die?
Every age.
I get like
That's wrong. Your
75.
opinions are wrong.
Thanks, Dr. Doom.
I'd like
It
to
really
see my
helped
kids
me.
grow up, maybe have another offspring, see that they're messing it up just as bad as I did, and be like, okay, I'm ready to go.
40
You
something?
never know when you're going to go, so it's every age to me. You just take it as it goes.
No, what's
You
the
know-
right one? I mean, everybody makes mistakes, but what's the right one?
Well, if you're living the dream, right, and you're base jumping, and you're just doing it, you're enjoying all of them, but then like that 3,000th one that you did, it just doesn't do it. But you had a fucking great time leading up to that, and you're only like 29. Maybe it was the right time. You were looking death in the face and being like, I'm putting it all on black every time, baby. But then like maybe you don't take a lot of risk, and you're like, I would like to live old and die and right in a nice comfy place, and you did it right the way you wanted it to.
There was a man the other day, I like what he had to say. He said the exception in life is if you do end up in a nice neighborhood with a padded 401k, retired, drawing, your Social Security and your 401k, drawing all your retirement, nice house. He's like, that is not like where most people end up in life. That's definitely the exception. And besides, if you end up in that position, because like you just worked your corporate life the whole way through, did everything right, everything goes right, you probably don't have any good stories to tell anyhow.
Mm-mm.
That gave me a lot of comfort.
Mm-mm.
Also
Yeah.
made me want a whiskey.
It is a dream that they preach, right? It is an odds game. Like who's going?
Yeah.
Are you going to make the right choice? Is luck going to be in your favor to get what they preach to you, right?
Like
But it's-
imagine going into your retired years in 2008. Probably not ideal time to be drawing your retirement.
Yeah, I find it hilarious. Like, remember post COVID when the stock market like was fucking went crazy, dude, from all the money
It was
getting dumped
beautiful.
into the economy.
Yeah.
There's so many old people who were like, "Now's the time, baby. Fuck you, I'm out." And like everybody retired, and then yeah, exactly. And, you guys both had the right answer because I think like the proper number is whatever number you achieve your goals, and you're like, okay, now I can fucking let off the gas. We'll set it in cruise control. I'm chilling. Like,
Yeah.
and everybody probably does have a different answer. For me, it was yesterday. So you guys be on the lookout for a whole bunch of free stuff I don't need anymore.
Dr.
Yes.
Doom, the other day I was talking to someone about how you're still in control of my will. I don't know if you know that, but I was informing them that should I pass, I think one of the stipulations in my will is that you have complete autonomy to just objectively choose who gets what. My wife probably wants me to revise that at some point, but seeing my family squabble over when my grandfather
She gonna
died.
get what she fucking gets.
There it is, and that's why you're in charge of my estate. I think it's kind of like a haha. Here's my final prank after I'm dead. All of it is going to support.
That's like about just
zoo
about
animals.
the only thing I can think of that literally has zero repercussions. Like, what are we gonna do? Kill you more?
Right.
Yeah, what do you got to lose, man? Like, I mean, I think that's I hope that gives you happiness, man. And
It really does.
And it sounds like it's gonna make my life a living hell. I like that.
The best
I like how terrible my life will become after you die.
You don't make your estate planner. You don't make your estate planner local. You make sure it's in like the UK. So all your family has to now pay to fly there.
Oh yeah,
to go be
just
in
for a
person.
mystery. What am I gonna get?
What are they
the
getting?
sense of entitlement, and it all goes to the cat.
And then you make your estate pay for only half of the plane ticket. You don't do the full because now it entices them. You're
Yeah.
like, well, half of it's being paid. We must be getting something. So you do
Right.
half.
And not
But
the
then you don't-
Airbnb, or
and it's
maybe
only-
one really shitty Airbnb.
One
Put
way.
them all in it.
One way.
Mm.
One
Gotta
way
take a
ticket.
boat back. Maybe you pay for like a shitty like the bottom of the barrel cruise for the way over there and back that is gonna break down.
You don't. You just buy a cheap ticket on a barge. That's what,
Make them get in a container.
they go fly all the way there and be like, the cat didn't even have to fly over there just to tell her what it all goes to. Jelly bean.
I'd love to see
OG.
Jelly Bean's little paws on the desk. Like, yes,
Yeah.
the day's finally come, hasn't it, Father?
He just looks around.
I
Told you.
killed him.
I have a death pact with my cat.
It's just everyone in that room, and he's like, no one's gonna believe y'all. I killed him. Deal with it.
Do you guys have your will set up? You got an estate thing?
Nope.
My shit's lazy as
Should.
fuck, but yeah.
I should have something.
It's
It's
easy to
just gonna
set
go out
up.
there to the world.
Yeah, it is pretty
It's
easy.
surprisingly easy to set up. I don't know what triggers my bank or whoever's in charge of that. However, I set that up to go out. I guess when my certificate of death gets filed, it just
Yeah.
comes in.
You have to do that shit, or else your shit literally goes to the
I did
government.
learn that
That's
recently.
The worst.
My grandmother passed, and my grandfather said he tried to go because they had a joint account, and he went to go on the account to take care of some bills using, through her that are under her name. And he said the bank shuts everything off once they get the death certificate. They just erase everything. They don't erase the money, but they just are like all transactions. The account's just pretty much gone.
When my dad died, that was such a pain in the ass. Like, shout out to that dude for making it as fucking difficult as possible to prove to the government he died. They're like, yeah, what's social security number? I'm like, dude, I don't even remember the guy's birthday. And they're like, okay, well, you gotta give us this so you can get that to go tell them that you can bury him. I'm like, what happens if I don't? And they're like, we'd send you a bill. What? They're
Did
like,
you start
yeah, man.
comparing? Well, can you send me the cost? I'd like to compare.
I'm
what
like,
these costs are gonna
do you
be."
want the body? Do you want it to be your problem? Because that's where we're heading right now in this conversation. You're making it really difficult for me to solve this problem.
Sounds like he should have just said he was alive and started collecting those social security checks.
No, man.
I think he was too young for that. I don't think he had Social Security.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm just trying to help you.
The weird part was, check this out. He alluded to someone had given him land, and one of his buddies knew about it. So I had this weird thing going on for a couple weeks after he passed when his buddy kept checking in about the land. And I knew the guy that gave it to him, but that guy had since passed. And so I was going on this scavenger hunt. I ended up giving up, but there's this website. Have you guys heard of, it's a state treasury website where you put in your name. I think I've looked up both of you guys to see if you had anything.
I know what you're talking about.
You just put in your,
go on.
you put in your last name, and your zip code, and it pulls up associated records of money that you haven't claimed. I got like $400 back from it. It was
Insurance
legit.
companies reported a lot. Yeah, when companies they'll have to report if someone's like not claiming their funds.
Mm-hmm.
What's that called?
Yeah. You can just Google around money.
Find my money online or something like
Find
that.
my money.
Whatever.
Yeah, state. It's a
your
state
money,
website, right?
and you need it now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It'll show like, I don't know, like if you have insurance money with one of the insurance companies, it'll say there because the insurance company's reporting like this is out there.
Yeah. Dr. Doom, I've definitely looked you up.
Come
I don't
get your money.
Pretty confident. Actually, in Texas, I did. In Florida, I did.
Dr. Doom, look it up. You might be able to build that base.
I will. I mean, if I had the time and a computer, I would go to usa.gov/unclaimed money to see the database where per state they'll list for unclaimed money from employers, insurance, taxes,
Dr.
investment,
Doom.
bank failures.
Is the International Space Station your base or not?
Or is it like a 17-year-old's grungy basement? Because that's kind of, I'm getting the vibe one way or the other.
I think the International Space Station is Dr. Doom's.
It's the closest place for me to buy like milk and eggs and shit for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I may or may not be on the dark side of the moon.
Do you count agricultural credits on that?
We don't. They're pretty strict about it because of the whole fucking the hydroponic system is like already pre-owned by the Russians. So,
but you got a chicken on there, so you should be able to claim it.
Don't they cycle the piss through the water filtration thing and reclaim the H2O?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
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 Yeah. That's why you always want to stay hydrated, so don't start turning yellow.
No, in the space station, not in your house, because I got a feeling that's what you do at home.
No, I use salt. I use salt for that.
That retains the water, though. That's definitely going to turn it yellow.
It retains, but it
maybe
helps.
Red. I don't know.
Maybe.
I've seen your diet.
Maybe post Miami.
Yeah. Yeah, once you get into the 4th, 5th day of the costume.
Ain't nothing wrong with drinking piss, brother.
There's a few things.
How long can you drink your own pee before it like really starts wrecking you? Like survival situation?
I would say a 2 days. My guess.
Wow, I have a lot. Oh, never mind. This isn't all me.
I don't. Are you still on the website?
No, I'm not. I'm talking about piss. I have a lot, but not all of this piss is mine.
That's a song, isn't it?
It was actually. That's what I was singing right when you guys
it's called
tuned in.
Margaritaville.
Rest in peace, Jimmy Buffett.
Rest in peace, Jimmy.
Is he dead?
Great song.
Oh yeah, the original Florida man.
Oh man.
Yeah, the original Florida man has passed away. Unfortunately, we're a few months out.
Unfortunate.
Am I allowed to take a siesta to make another mix drink?
Yeah, of course, man.
What?
You do what
For
you gotta
sure.
do, Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
You're Doctor Doom, man. You could kill us if we said
You're drinking virgins, right?
Blood, yes. Yeah. Virgin blood.
Okay.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
That's okay.
But
now I know where the line of
What
weird
the
is
fuck
at.
was weird about that?
Huh?
Nothing, dude. What? It's
I was
fine,
talking
bro.
about the little bug on my screen, but okay. You do your thing.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
That was inappropriate.
We're trying, okay?
We are working on each other.
We're trying to make the
making
church.
each other
That's all
better
we're-
people as we go.
We're trying to do. I'm just trying to grow the cult.
You got me, dude. You got me. I
How
put
do
on
we
this
start a
costume
cult?
you mailed to my house.
That was easy.
What do you got to go through to like officially establish a cult? You're not allowed to have a cult in America, right? Like that's a big no-no. Officially having a cult.
I mean,
Not one that you pay taxes on.
Yeah.
You can have a tax-free one.
you pay taxes. Yeah, exactly. Right. All the ones that are tax free, the government has them on some list.
I think it depends on your definition of a church.
Yeah. That's all churches and
Where do you
fine.
draw
Scary
the
must
line
figure it
between a
out.
cult and a church?
Fucking way conservatively. Like almost all of them.
Would it
Almost
be-
all of them.
if the point is to kill yourself to find something, is that turning into a cult?
That
To
seems,
kill yourself?
that seems
Yeah,
like,
like if
you're...
there's if there's a point where you got to drink the Kool-Aid, Whereas
Mm-hmm.
a church is more like, hey, eventually when you die, you will go somewhere good. But the cult may be more like, if you kill yourself, once you reach that, then you'll
And why
go
is it
somewhere
always
better.
somewhere
I think
good?
if you're forced to have an abstract iconoclast ideology against your will, like, hey, I want to be a normal person and think this, and then everyone ostracizes you and is like, nah, motherfucker.
But then that
There's
would also
fucking
count.
aliens in the
Once the
bottom of the
tribalism
fucking
creeps in.
Marianas Trench, aliens in the ocean, or else we're gonna kill you, or else
I just don't think there's aliens down there. I've said it, and I'll keep saying it, man. I don't think they're down there.
I don't think that we can prove they're down there, and that we probably never will. Because if they're more advanced than us, then how do you know what I mean? Like, how do the fucking monkeys pull one over on us? Like, we can't get up on them. We're like second or third step in line.
They
And we'll never
already,
know.
they always know our technology. We're not creating technology faster than them. We get our technology from them, honestly.
You think
Yeah.
so?
Every time there's a big alien thing, all of a sudden we get some new technology out there. That's pretty crazy. After Roswell, shit popped
Elon's
off.
about as close as we have in an alien. That dude's out there, man.
I don't
That's
know.
why he said that.
I
He
kind of
said
think
there's
the
no
whole,
aliens out there. Of course he did.
You might
wants
be
to be known
right,
as the
but
smarter one.
I think you're right because I feel like we haven't had a major invention in like decades.
Mm-hmm.
Like a big step forward on
That's not-
fission, nuclear fission.
Yeah,
something
when you
like
think
that.
about like fucking the electricity to the nuclear bomb was like 80 years, 60 years or whatever. Like, and like I said earlier, like all of our power, like even the internet right now is still essentially powered by a steam engine. Like there's a giant fucking steam engine down the street, a couple miles. And I mean, we were able to plug some shit together and make the internet, but there hasn't been a major invention since like the 60s.
AI kind of gives me that feel. Like it's, I don't do inventions typically happen in like big, like quantum jumps, or is it kind of this easing process?
They call them winners, like especially in AI, they'll say like an AI winner or like a progression winner. So like you'll have like motherfuckers work on shit for a super long time and don't make any progress. And then one dude gets like super fucking lucky and figures it all out. But his shit was really based on the other fucking 20 years of research. So like
Right.
gray area. So you have summers and winters. You have like time where not shit happens, and then boom, Chat GPT comes out, and all of a sudden like AI was just invented. You know what I mean?
Do you think we would have been better off with DC power, or do you think AC was really the route to go?
I think AC is where it's at all day.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be kind of weird if we were doing DC power, right? Bunch of dedicated lines.
Yeah, I mean, we do in some spots. Batteries are DC, cars are DC and shit. Oh.
Are
Just
they?
doesn't make a good grid. Yeah, we use both.
What happens to the power from the alternator when it feeds to the battery and the other thing's running? Where does that power go?
I think it's all 12 volt DC. I'm pretty sure you have a 12 volt DC battery in your car. Post alternator, I don't think it like changes. Dude, tell you the truth, I know a lot of shit, but I don't know if you can convert DC to AC. Yeah, you can. You have to have a converter. So like I bet your truck has a fucking converter in it, and then from there it'll have like a wall outlet, right? You have a wall outlet in your truck. Yeah. Because I remember seeing converters back in the day that you could like third party converters you could buy and put them in, just like fucking subwoofers and light bars and shit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really know
That
how
guy
works.
from Burning Man that helped us out with the generator, man. He was
I like
actually an
that
electrical
story.
engineer.
And our
It was,
super leisure bike ride we took together, that was just fucking a great time to have some beers and chill.
I
he
don't
told me
remember
that
chilling or beers, actually.
story. We had
So-
the beers before, and then my toenail got ripped off because I was wearing Crocs, and I
Is that
made
growing
love
back?
to a tree at about 10 miles an hour. Yeah, it did. A little bit.
Good.
Yeah, they both did. They both did.
You ripped off too?
I ripped off the other one like the week before. Fucking Crocs.
I
suck,
feel like
dude.
I
Don't wear
really
Crocs.
I missed an opportunity to like make a necklace, like a macrame necklace out of my toenails. I've ripped off at least 4 or 5 in the last 2 years.
Oh, dude, you should murder an animal with me and do something with its bones.
Oh, that would be fun. Some art like
Fucking
this.
talk about it, be about it, dude. Let's...
Dude, what if I made that mandala out of like bird bones?
I would respect the fuck out of your patience and dedication to a single project. I'm too ADD for that.
No, that is exactly what my ADD is meant for. I'm
Really?
spackling
You have
my
the
wall
hyperfocus
when I'm
one?
done with work.
Damn.
Hmm?
You have like the hyperfocus ADD where you can like just accomplish a mission when you fucking set to it.
Yeah, it's just sole focus on things that are moderate to low in vital importance. Once we approach this high area of value add into my life, we get shaky. You know, work, learning, relationships, things like that. It's tough, real tough.
Mine is like a mandatory multitask. Like, this is actually pretty good for me right now because I'm focusing, but it's like I have to do at least 10 things at once.
It literally looks like you're staring at the ceiling and the floor at the same time right now, just so you know.
Yes. Just like he was talking about.
That's what I'm going for.
Fair enough, man. If the costume fits.
Hey,
Did you guys hear that?
Cinderella, dude. Fucking Cinderella.
Is that like an acronym for something?
No, she had that costume that fit.
Oh, I thought that was like a stripper.
I'm sure it is, brother.
I would like to murder something with you soon, though.
I do, and I'm planning it a lot. Premeditation, I think, is the term.
I forget what degree that is.
I think we should make it happen. Definitely first degree.
Is it first?
Yeah. If you're thinking about it and then you act on it, that's first degree, brother.
But I always get it mixed up. First degree is worse than second because second place sounds like it's not as good as first.
Nah, first is the worst. Second is like it was gross negligence and like you could have avoided it, but you didn't. And then third is like you literally had no idea. Like you fucking you accidentally.
That makes
like,
sense.
I would say like third is like somehow
it is a ranking then.
Yeah. Third is
First
like somehow
place,
a penny falls off the Empire State Building, and then like
wreck
2
some
days
old
later
lady.
you get told somebody died. And then second is like you're like fuck this penny. Let me just flick it off the edge of this building. And then somebody died. And then first is like, I'm going to throw this penny and I'm going to fucking kill them.
But you planned it meticulously for multiple weeks leading up to that.
Yeah. You were like, let me buy this ticket to the Empire State Building and bring
and
a
drop
fucking
a
penny.
sack of pennies. Or 1 penny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just keep throwing one penny until you hear a scream.
We're going for first. Me and you. We're going to be in the first, and we're thinking a lot about it.
For animals.
Aren't we all
steps to first degree.
That's a good program right there. We should build a course out for that. Professional hippies, 12 steps to freedom. Or first degree.
Ooh, I like that. You guys like often think about how you're just an animal. Do you feel like the food chain is like fucked up? Like if we hyper dominated it, should we like okay, my question is are there a lot of humans being ate by animals? Let me start there.
Not enough. You know.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I think it's
to control the population.
But
the scales are a little
statistics around that. Like more people die from cows than sharks every year.
I would definitely.
Cows will fuck you up if they're mad.
I remember hearing, and I don't know if it's true, but I remember hearing that deer are like one of the biggest killers just because they're always around people.
I could see that.
It kind of makes sense too because they literally have a forehead made out of steak knives.
Thugs of the animal kingdom, though. When it comes to humans, mosquitoes. Wow, fuck those guys.
I do like how normally humans are like, no, we can't be creating things that's going to kill off species. And mosquitoes are the only one I believe that the government literally paid scientists to be like, come up with a way to destroy these motherfuckers. Like, get rid of them. We don't need them anymore.
I don't know if you guys are Sam Harris fans, but his answer is if he could do one thing to change the world, his answer is always kill all the mosquitoes. And he's a super fucking smart motherfucker.
Yeah.
Because what use are they? Nothing. They just get a little bit of blood every now and then from something. There's not
Some stuff eats them, but not enough stuff we care about.
They predate dinosaurs, and all they really do is just spread viruses. Like, they just fucking drink blood and spread viruses.
From an ecological standpoint, though, that's pretty important for culling the herd.
Is it Earth's way of being like, I needed to create something to control every being on Earth?
Well, back to
Mosquitoes.
the hyper dominating the food chain. I think, one of the greatest disappointments is David Attenborough coming out with that Netflix special, My Life on Earth or whatever.
Been wanting to watch it.
Super depressing.
Oh no.
In the most beautiful way possible, but
Yeah.
would not recommend an edible before that. I thought it was going to be like Blue Planet, Planet Earth. Wow, this is amazing. It is bone-crushingly difficult to make it through that without understanding how messed up we have really done the Earth.
So it's like in Blue Planet or Our Planet, he'll get they'll give him like a good 30 seconds to do that.
Yeah.
Whereas it is entirely
An
that
hour.
portion of Our Planet.
Front to back.
Just
It's
hammering you.
actually the exact opposite of 30 seconds of like, look at this beautiful landscape. I was one of the first to explore it. He was like the OG National Geographic. They gave him, like, he was the first guy that they would like got behind, would pay him to do expeditions, doing real expeditions, uncharted stuff. And he's showing that original, like, first, second, third videos ever taken with National Geographic on these expeditions. Incredible, awe-inspiring footage. And then for the next 15 minutes, he's showing you comparisons of what it looks like now, all of the regulations that evaporated or were non-existent, and strip farming, and it is just tough. I don't think I actually finished it. I think I got to the 45-minute mark, and I was like, I gotta watch some cartoons or something. Bring me back center here.
How many other people you think also did that? David
I'd love to
Attenborough
see the data.
knew that going in, like, oh, people are going to watch this. I'm
Yeah.
going to use this to advantage.
It's like some fucked up Earth porn that you're just like, can't watch another baby being shaken.
Why
and
do
taken
so many
advantage
people,
of.
when they're on the come downs, go to Our Planet? There's so many people I've been with on their come downs. They're like, put on Our Planet.
Nature's soothing. We're meant
so
to be
nice.
outside. We're meant to be in communion with nature. And
like, that is a common thing I have found at every like friend group, every like, if I was in a random fair or whatever, they're all like, yeah, some Our Planet on the come down sounds pretty nice.
well, because you can't go wrong with just like, it's beautiful images, cinematography, and I don't honestly remember the episode. I've seen probably the same episode 3 or 4 times.
That chair is well oiled or something. Because look, it's still.
That's one the robots
going.
would be proud of right there.
Dude, that thing. Is he going to make it back before it stops moving? Oh, man, it is inching right now. It is. Is he going?
It's a very level floor, too.
Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom.
Doom. Come on, where are you? It's almost there. Yeah.
I mean, for your chair to spin the entire time you're making a mixed drink, that's
Man, that is.
pretty solid.
Maybe it's a space thing since he's out there.
You know what? I didn't even piece that together.
It
But I
could
would
be
say,
it.
yeah.
Oh, I think it came to a stop.
Yeah. It's all right.
I give that chair a lot of props, though. That was pretty good.
I give chairs in general. When I bought this chair, that was a very well thought out decision.
I bought the same chair. This chair has been great.
Did you actually get the exact same chair?
Exact same chair. Remember I said, send me the link? Bam.
Yeah.
They bought that same chair. Yeah. You were right. It was a well thought out decision. And I am glad I can benefit from it.
Yeah, dude. When you have a nice chair, that's something I picked up from my boss. I've seen this man go into meetings with millionaires and drag his chair into the. I think actually to this day he has weekly meetings with his mentor that only mentors executives and CEOs, and he drags this thing. Do you know where the Center Club's at in Tampa on West Kennedy?
Yeah.
He takes it out of the parking garage, wheels it through the parking garage, up the elevator, and into the business
that's
center.
beautiful. That's beautiful. Honestly, like the dedication. Now you're known as like. Is it enough to start a trend? Probably not. But now you're like, that guy's smart. He brings his chair all the way from home.
Well, he has. I think we got the 1,000. We got the base model, which is still a couple $100 chair.
But if I was his mentor, I would notice that, and I would let him start doing it, and like I give it a year, and now I'd be like, hey, remember Uncomfortable? Stop bringing it. Can you do it? Are you addicted to that chair? Bet you
I
can't.
mean, that's a healthy addiction, though, right?
Is it?
I got a
They
bad
can't-
back. If I sit in a chair that I'm not comfortable in, man, it's a
But
it's a
if you
rough
can't
day.
put your ass anywhere and do some business, can you really do business?
I guess not, right?
You know?
You got to bring the
Yeah.
business to your ass, brother. That's what it's about.
I want an ass that's got some real teeth in it.
Should you be the man that moves the mountain, or you should be the mountain that moves the man?
There was a man that moved a mountain. He dug a tunnel through that mountain. I think it took him 20, 30 years. Did you guys ever hear about that story?
Died?
You talking about the guy
John
when he gets
Henry?
the train?
Yeah,
Yeah, John Henry.
You guys actually know who I'm talking about?
John Henry.
John Henry.
Who is it?
John
Henry.
Henry.
Is that all you guys got? I mean, I don't remember the guy's name. Do you have any more details other than his fucking name?
You're the one that started, like, you knew who the guy was.
Okay, my bad. I quote,
This-
vague references stuff all the
Are
time.
you talking about the story of the guy when they started introducing the steam engine that could plow and help get through the mountain quicker? And he
Yeah,
was
it's-
like, nah, fuck you. You're not
Isn't
going
it
to take
kind of
my
like
job.
Yeah, it's like a
Yes.
fucking.
Yeah.
It's somehow like a fucking Luddite hero story / xenophobic.
And he was like, I'm going to screw, like,
What does
Yeah.
xenophobic mean?
xenophobic
What is
is
it?
like the immigrants are coming to take our jobs and shit.
Oh.
You know?
I thought it was he just wanted to make it easier for his wife to get to town or something.
what?
Something like that.
What a romantic gesture.
Yeah. Dr. Doom, you have a good chair, though, by the way, man. You didn't make it back in
Thank
time.
you.
So that chair-
I stole this chair from the government, and it's so fucking heavy. It was so
That
hard to
thing
throw
was
this shit in the back of my
spinning.
truck.
That makes sense. It's
Until-
from the government.
a minute. Yeah. There was probably a big fat person that was like,
Ball
usually
bearings. I'm
spinning on it a
not
lot.
fucking with you.
That
It's
thing
made
got
of
going.
steel, and I think the chair weighs like fucking 80 pounds, dude. It's insane.
It might have some ball bearings in there. Kept
think
It
it
going.
does.
almost
'cause you're-
rotated all the way back. I mean, the whole time you were
The
gone.
whole time.
It's pretty fucking impressive, man, and it's definitely got the skin of an animal that has been dyed a nice like aqua color.
Oh,
Beautiful.
That's cute.
Can I ask you a personal question, if you don't mind?
Who? I'm not John.
You got to. What do you think the meaning of life is? Like, what's the purpose? Why are we here?
Sometimes I think it's a rite of passage for when I'm growing up in another dimension. But part of it is you have to come here, like sending someone into a child into a forest to survive for 5 days.
So it's like
They go-
it's like a level in a game you got to beat.
It's not even a level in a game. It's like, hey, go figure this out and come back, like they do with Amish. Go figure out the world and come back. But then this is like they go. Here's take this pill or take these mushrooms. Go figure yourself out first before you grow up a little bit.
I think consciousness got bored, so it came up with the idea, whatever source is, came up with the idea of time. And then we all wanted to experience different versions of time and experiences. So we came up with concepts like pain and happiness and joy and, all the various different emotions and fleeting experiences that one could attempt to grasp onto and see what that felt like to pass the thing that we invented called time. And then when we return to source, kind of reflect on what that experience looked like.
You're definitely right that time is a man-made construct. I mean, it makes no sense. One thing I think is interesting is like the relevancy of time, like through the eyes of a tree. Like you think a tree obviously measures its lifespan in a lifespan. So like, or whales, they're like, I'm having my midlife crisis at 120 years.
I like to play the polar of like a fruit fly to a jellyfish because we technically don't know if jellyfish ever
Immortal.
die.
Yeah, they're immortal. Right. Mm-hmm.
Right? A fruit fly definitely dies in like 3 or 4 days. I mean, all it's trying to get to is its next pump. It is just thinking, I've got to reproduce. So what's time like for those two creatures? Does time slow down when you only have 4 days?
Did jellyfish fuck?
No, they have these things called
that.
polyps that just kind of grow on them and detach, and then it
that's right. That's right.
builds into a different thing. Another trippy one is a man of war. So they are called. Oh fuck! I don't know. Dr. Doom might have to look up what that thing's called. It starts with like a V or a Z or something. It's actually a whole ecosystem of different organisms working together. So like the top part can't eat what the tentacles catch. So some of the parts on there can kill, but they can't eat either. So they pass it up, and everything's exchanging energy
Phasalia.
inside. What's it called?
Phasalia.
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 PHY. Okay. Yeah. So it's like its own little ecosystem of givers and takers.
It's a member of a Newston or a community of organisms that live together on the ocean surface. So it's like a fucking city. It's like a little tiny floating city. I would almost argue like a city state, because it's kind of got like a defense mechanism, right? Like a little defense ministry. It's like, fuck with me and I'll kill you.
What is it called again?
The Man of Wars. Oh,
No, the
flaccid
other thing. Yeah,
Phasalia.
Phasalia. Yeah.
that sounds like if I'm at a cafe in Italy. I'm like, what would you like? Give me the Phasalia.
You know what's the best part about that fact is that so the man of war is technically a type of Phasalia, but there's only one Phasalia on planet Earth, and it's the man of war. Like, damn, be original, bro. I respect the fuck out of you.
Man of War figured it out and then killed everything somehow that it evolutioned off of it.
There's nothing else doing it the way a Man of War is doing it.
Apparently not. But dude, I mean, also that kind of makes sense because like mostly like an organism or a species is itself. This motherfucker is like, it kind of reminds me of.
What are we?
So at its last evolution, it figured out what it needed.
Well, it's like some sort of fucking like permanent symbiote, right? Like multiple shit.
Think of an alligator, right? It figured out how it's all it needed to survive, and it hasn't ever needed evolution again, right? So you're telling me that thing is the only thing in the earth that has it. So that means that its last evolution, it was like, that's it.
It's like the final stage of a Pokemon.
It never needed to give anything else or produce anything else to figure it out.
But we rely on like a bunch of bacteria and stuff running around in us. Wouldn't that kind of make us similar?
Yeah, dude.
Similar, but I guess not exact same.
That's something that some fucking hippie had to explain to me, and I didn't believe him. And then he kept telling me for a couple months, and I believed him, that like the whole
tell a lie long enough, strong enough, hard enough becomes truth.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't think it's a lie. Like your gut biome actually forms like a microcosm of consciousness. Like, you know how, like, so apparently, I guess there's a little bit of science behind, like, your gut biome can literally cause depression and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just like cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure your gut biome's, taking that cocaine to the face. No pun intended.
Well, once it's created its own ecosystem down there and you start ingesting bullshit, it's going to be like, yo, oh, man.
It craves like the bullshit. You feed enough bullshit, it thinks the bullshit's what it should have.
That actually is true. It can adjust to anything.
The bullshit that you're feeding it, the gut might be saying no, but the brain wants it now.
Right.
So the gut's trying to tell you I'm depressed, whereas the brain's like, I want this, and then you get a
mash more buttons.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. And that's when you gotta control one of them.
Eat some junk food and you'll be happy. You know what I mean? One more Dorito and you'll be happy.
Yeah.
One more Dorito.
Fucking dirty toes.
Dude, dirty toes can hit the spot sometimes. I
Cool
would say
Ranch is the perfect chip.
Oftentimes it misses, but as a child, I loved them and my brain hangs on to that.
I think there's several forms of culinary maturity, and one is like flavor profile and stuff. Like, oh, I finally think French food is good, and I'm eating a snail. But like another part is like the whole fucking organic shit or whatever. Like I've kind of gotten to the point where like a Dorito is so processed bullshit that it like I can't really enjoy it. But
have you ever lit one on fire?
I will. Can you? I feel like it wouldn't even burn.
Oh, it does the exact opposite. That thing will hold a flame.
Shit, dude.
What'd you say?
That's some camping.
If you light a Dorito on fire.
Oh, it can. Yeah, you can use them as fire starter.
Yeah, dude. Those things are hardcore.
That is fucking
You could actually
not-
use it.
It's
You
like
can-
a Coke
you can-
on a
if-
battery thing, you know what I mean? Like you pour Coke on a battery and fucking
If you're
eat away
backpacking and want a
battery
light
acid.
fire starter, break up a bunch of Cheetos. I mean, not Cheetos, Doritos. Roll down the bag, and you got a nice light fire starter for
Mhm.
yourself.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
That's fucking crazy.
And
Shout
both-
out to
any
shout out
flavor,
to
by
my
the way.
gut biome that just takes that to the head and keeps going.
Shout out to Lay's, keeping those corporate numbers up.
I had to get my
baby.
blood checked. I thought I was a diabetic after I started working with a health coach. And they, like, for a summer, I just ate a really clean diet and went back to college and was, like, taking naps after eating and stuff. And the doctor was laughing. She was like, no, you just ate a really good diet for a couple months. Now your body's freaking out that you're trying to eat a college diet again.
It's
Oh.
funny. It goes both ways, and I've seen it both ways. Where it's like you can be healthy, and then you eat shitty meal, and you feel like you're dying, and then you can eat shitty, and then you're like healthy for a day or two, and your body's like collapsing. It's
Yeah.
like you just become fucking. It's crazy how malleable you are to your environment. That's all it is. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole fucking Darwinism in a nutshell. Like whoever's in your environment, that's what you become, and then we kill off the weak ones and we take control. And it's pretty much like that.
I think you're describing Athens.
You think so? I like that. I'm an Athens fan.
Was that Athens? Yeah. It's not the Sumerians. They created writing, right?
Cuneiform, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to them for figuring out how to put this into that, you know?
Dude, right? Man, there was actually a time where I tried to tell you that information is fundamental to the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to that. Like, I mean, I think information and knowledge is like fundamental, but you just have to find different ways to translate it.
Do you think there's any other ways to translate it? Transfer it?
Infinite ways. I
I
think
guess you have like light, touch. I guess there's senses. That's the only way you're doing it.
you got, so
And
I would
voice
say,
it.
yeah, exactly. Like I think I'm having like brain synapses that are like putting together a thought that's a form of information, and then like some sort of way that becomes fucking words out of my mouth. I don't even know. But then that goes into a microphone that uses like physical information of flexing, and then that becomes fucking ones and zeros over the internet, and then it kind of reverses back until it's like flexing in the speakers in your ear. It's all the same shit. Like my thought that then like goes into your ears for you to hear it is the same information, but then it just changes medium like half a dozen times.
Well, it's not, because words are very clunky communication devices. I mean,
Agreed.
think about how much
Agreed.
of information is nonverbal being transferred. The way you say
Most
a
of it.
word, the way you
Most of
present
it.
a word, right?
Most
So I'm
Is-
not probably getting most of your thought the way, I mean, definitely not
Is
from that last
is
thought.
what's coming through? If what I'm hearing from y'all has it been transferred? Has it been transferred?
I never said the word masturbation.
Is the word that comes through here from you to me? Does it come through as 0101s in order to get here?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So
Yes.
if that's the
With
case,
a fuck
and
ton of other information.
as we know, reading from translation people, you know, as things get translated over time, things get mistranslated all the time. How much of what you're saying is coming across to me the correct way?
That's a good question. I mean, how much of verbal communication comes across the right way? For me, I think it depends on the person and social adeptness. I mean, for me, fucking not as much as I wish. I feel like a lot of times I say some shit and then I'm like, it's not what I meant. It's not what I meant.
But that also might come down to like what kind of human experience you want to have, because someone like you, I don't think you really give too much of a rat's ass what most people think, or sometimes it's actually a really funny experience to watch you try and be serious in like the social construct kind of manner when you're around like adults
It's
and you're like
harder.
trying to communicate. Dude, I watch a pencil catch on fire trying to write out a sentence. I tell you what. So it might just come down to, you know, how much you.
I was more or less saying the computer system translating what we're saying wrong, and then sending it through the system. Little matrix. That's all.
If they had us in bags somewhere where they could only, you know, maybe like drip out our creativity, they could figure it out a little bit better.
You think do you think a large language model can be conscious then? Like, do you think that there's any understanding, or that when it hears
I
our
think
words,
it can
it's
trick us
literally
into
ones and
us
zeros?
thinking it's conscious.
But when it's hearing us, right, it's translating its own system. So it has to know our language and then process it in its own language and then spit it back out in our language again.
Mhm.
So what I'm saying is that part that it passes through when it's doing its own language and then spitting it back out, is there mistranslations going on in there?
Yeah, 100%.
I would think so, right? Because we mistranslate each other sometimes, like you said, human to
Yeah.
human, and we're a simulation anyway. So that's 0, 1, 0, 1. So now you got another one going through another one, and then coming out the other end to here.
I wonder if computers ever get frustrated with other computers.
I would think so. For
I think
sure.
so. I think so, yeah.
But then that means computers feel emotion.
I don't. It's true.
I
You're
mean,
right. I
the
don't know
green
if
bubble.
frustrated is the right word.
Do you guys remember as kids thinking fish didn't feel pain? Did you ever
Yeah. Yeah, I heard
get
that a
fed
lot.
that bullshit?
Yeah. Well, we come from the same spot.
A fish can't feel pain, but somehow a squirrel can? What's that
Yeah.
about?
Can it?
Can a
I'm
fish
pretty sure
feel
I've shot a
pain?
couple squirrels that look like they're in a lot of pain.
I've hooked a lot of fish. They're swiggling around.
Yeah, that's my point exactly. That whole
But did it
nervous
tell ya?
stimuli of like, get me the fuck out of here is probably
Was
pain.
it telling you though? Was it like, I'm in pain?
I think so. Yeah.
Squirrel didn't say that. I know that.
Isn't pain just the body's way of recoiling away from something that could kill it? I mean, it's just kind of a response of like, hey, that's probably not good for us.
Maybe that's why the aliens go for the anus every time.
Because it feels
Because
good?
it's not painful. Yeah, exactly. It's pleasurable.
That's why they're like, this will help it. They're like, humans don't feel pain everywhere else except here. They don't feel pain there.
Mm,
Just how we're treating fish, and squirrels.
That's how I know you've never done anal.
You're right.
It's cool. Room for growth. Hey.
like that stock is a blue chip going up this year, son.
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
Couple married dudes talking about butt stuff.
I'm curly cheesy nacho, but I'm trying to go Cool Ranch.
Oh, shit, baby. Hey, are you toothed or toothless, asshole?
Is this something that should be on a Grindr profile? Asking for a friend.
Yes.
I don't know. You tell me, Dr.
Yes.
Doom.
No one likes getting down
okay.
there and seeing a
prefer to
full
find
set
out.
of chompers.
This is why we'll never know what's in the trenches. This is why.
Trenches meaning more than one thing.
Like aliens pick it up and they're like, these guys ain't.
Eh,
No one's
so-
figuring it out.
No one's figuring that out.
Dr. Doom, can I ask you a personal question? Never mind.
Please.
I don't want to.
Awesome.
Did I already
audio.
answer it? Did I answer it before you?
That honestly answered everything I was going to ask.
Were you about to ask me how hard can I slurp? Is that what that was?
No, I was really going to go, what does a slushy machine sound like? And you were like, you got it for me.
I got you. Why are we here?
Are you a Buccaneers fan, Dr. Doom?
We answered that already,
I am.
dude.
Oh yeah, you did. You didn't even give my dude. I didn't even give my answer. Mine was that I think we have to fight against entropy, man. I think we have to use our consciousness to battle against like the inevitable dissolving of everything.
Isn't that the... Go ahead.
So we need to be like constructing something like, and that's why I think like we have like an instinctual. Instinctually we have something we want to accomplish. You have a fucking thing you want to do, and you need to do it. I think that's kind of the meaning of life.
Why does every person have something different that they need to do? Why is it, if we're all a human race and we're all part of one another and we're all this together, why isn't there, what's the common goal if everyone has a different job or a different drive in their life to accomplish?
I think on some level it's build.
But
like-
others, it's nothing.
It's to me, it sounds like a more Darwinistic type of mentality. Is like, let's just
I agree.
randomly
Why? That's what I
fucking
was saying.
change genes and let the strongest survive. Like, let's make some people allergic to sunlight. Let's make other people black and fast. And from Ethiopia,
Others are like, they were like, I'm putting all my knowledge into rocket science. And others are like, I'm putting all my knowledge how to build a diesel engine. Or others are like, I'm putting all my knowledge into being Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
you gotta play the field, man. You know what I mean? It's like you have a cone of influence and everything inside of it. You know, you want to hit every single. You want to hit every single point. So I mean, I need.
Why?
I need guys who are committed to leaving the planet and repopulating Mars in case we need to do that. And I need guys who are practicing dressing up as animals and fucking each other just in case somehow we become animals. And we need to know how to fuck each other once we're all animals.
Is Noah's Ark how we survived the Great Flood?
No.
The way you described sounded just like that.
I don't think so. I didn't think so.
No.
It's definitely how you could survive like a Las Vegas furry convention.
Not a lot of boats being made out there.
Only one way to get through it. Through it.
On a boat. You think Noah was real? Like, you believe that Bible? I don't mean this in a bad way, but do you believe that dumbass Bible bullshit?
Well, here's the thing. Every civilization has a similar story. It's not just the Bible. They all have a similar Noah's Ark story. So if you're calling that bullshit, you're calling humanity bullshit.
Hey, brother. Hey, recollect that Gilgamesh, brother. I hear you, man. Go off.
Yeah.
I mean, but most of humanity is bullshit, to be fair.
Yeah, I think we just tell each other a lot of stories because we want people to listen.
Yeah.
We did a pretty good job, though, I think, of passing down wisdom through parables and, whatever the Greek term was for it, stories, more or less. I feel like we did a pretty solid job of that for a long time. Until we figured out, hey, the summer solstice isn't God being angry with us. That's not a sign. That's just...
You know how the Library of Alexandria, that was a big deal when that burned down? That was probably where most of history was, right?
Yeah, and
still a big deal.
Supposedly, that's how we lost the recipe to concrete.
It was the rest.
The fucking, my boy
probably real deal shit right there.
What's funny is that's the
dude.
Don't turn that man down right there. Turn him up.
Dude,
turn him up.
Fucking get me started on that bullshit, bro. That is the biggest thing I hate.
Concrete today, it ain't what it used to be.
Isn't the internet going to be our Library of Alexandria when that fucking gets destroyed?
And you want to burn it down?
Somehow?
It's not hard, I can tell you.
It's not hard. It's possible to destroy everything on the internet.
Do you have any nuclear bombs?
Not me personally, but my taxes.
Well, fair enough. Yeah, I pay a guy.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I outsource it. Really.
I've got a plan. And if we get them like the
plan, hold on.
I need your help. I need actually a couple people's help. So, yeah. And then once we get them, but the real thing is to strategically, we have the location of all the major processing plants. When you air burst over a certain elevation, the electromagnetic pulse will actually just destroy all of the processing units. And we can make it happen. But we need to come in swift and control the people afterwards. That's the real thing. Because you got to stop the humans before they get their own ideas. And that's where I would boost our man's idea about communism again.
So we're really trying to stop the internet, or are we trying to free thoughts and thinkers to recage them? I'm just trying to get clear on the business plan here.
I guess the question is who wants to be the leader, and we should ask them.
Not me. Dude, you get a lot of people that want someone leading them in a direction. They turn like fish on a freaking stick. Let me tell you.
I think you're right. Just give me like a couple of your ideas and plans and stuff. I told you the right time to die is after.
How many times do you have to say it? Communism. You just
Yeah,
start
yeah,
and stop
yeah.
there. On paper,
Yeah.
it sounds great. Something always gets lost in execution.
Like the
want the
Marxist style, you want
let's
the
just do-
manifesto?
Let's do totalitarianism, however you say that. Let's
Oh,
get a
he's
king,
more right.
queen,
He's definitely more right.
put him in charge. If something happens, only the top 3 people are going down.
Isn't
I'm
communism
gonna
kind of
kill
like that, but just like less glitzy?
No, communism is the opposite of that. Everything he said is what was wrong with communism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Communism is about everyone is equal and we should all get the same shit and share and life will be great.
I'm down
Everyone
if we
goes
can
down.
get like a good king, like a hot king and a hot queen. We need hot people leading that don't want to be too blinged out. I want to see them living in a nice spot. But Queen Elizabeth, like, that's a little much. That's a little too in your face.
It is kind of
Yeah, but that
insane
was
how
a build-up.
fucking blinged out like royalty is. Like, bro, like you really need diamonds from
To
like
the gill.
fucking forehead to dick. Like, is that necessary? Chill.
And it's all the money paid. Why can't they be the tire changing person up the road? Like, yeah, we put this guy in charge every now and then. We let him go do some meetings instead of tires.
I mean, leading people really should be like when we go through the standardized testing and we find some really smart people and they kind of like go through some other tests that they're not electing for, right? We put everyone through, so on paper they're smart, and social situations they're smart, and then just like getting drafted to the army, they have to serve their country. Because it's like, look, dude, you're the smartest, you're the suavest, and you're the best looking. Your duty to your country is to lead your people. Like, it should be kind of a prison sentence of a couple years, 4 years, whatever. Be like, hey, you have to lead us. You're literally the best. You have to lead us. And then put the next person up there. It's a shit job anyway. All the people are doing it for is money. But just take the money out of the equation and make them do it. If you don't, kill their family.
It's actually a lot like that besides the family killing.
There's still probably some family kill going on.
Almost like a gladiator.
We'll talk offline about that. Yeah.
Did I say something bad about your family?
No,
Don't kill my family. I like my family. I love
I
them,
don't.
some would say.
I don't kill any families. Just single individuals.
All right. I think we
Dr.
found a
Doom,
nice
I have
spot.
a personal question for you.
All right, one last one.
What is a question you wish more people asked you?
More people ask me. Do I think I've earned my right to be alive?
Do you think you've earned your right to be alive?
Yeah, I do. By like just barely, man. I just think it's a good question. If you ask people that, then like whoever's asking that type of fucking insane maniacal question is pushing themselves really hard. So then that would mean humanity is actually fucking putting their nose to the grindstone. Like that's not a reasonable question to ask unless you're fucking getting it. You know what I mean? So it's like a kind of a little flippy flop, you know? Like ask me that question only because you're a fucking badass.
Well, have you earned or are you earning your right to be alive? So is it in the present tense or past tense?
Sure. I like your version better, presence. I was more going with the
I
mentality.
was just trying to pick up the vibe you're going for. Like, are you paying your dividend to humanity? You're trying to be a better person, that kind of deal?
Like, are we all, like, the main thing is, like, hey, are you also trying to, like, make major contributions and fucking get shit done? Or, like, you know, just so everybody was contributing. That's what I'm going for. Can we all contribute?
Ask not what the government can do for you. Ask what can you do for the government.
For our government. I actually recently looked up what it would take to take control of the government of Uruguay. And it's not a lot, but if one of you guys wins the lottery, I really need you to reach out to me first, and then we need to go straight to written communication, and I need you to get offline and secure the money.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if I do win the lottery, you still be in charge of my estate, and I'm sure there'll be stuff left over. There's no way I'm not burning bright and hard and dying quick.
I believed you, and I assume you're right. Am I really the guy?
Dude, I told you this the better part of about a decade ago. It was 7 years ago.
And you've just been too fucking lazy to change it since, you like picked up a wife and
No,
house
it's
and
been
shit.
a conscious decision to enforce it. 'Cause I've changed banks.
Like I said, I love it because I find it hilarious that your last act is to like literally make my life a living hell, and also give me the personal opportunity to just fuck people out of their own
Dude, that is
desires
all I
that they've
want.
had. Yeah.
I don't want a single ounce of your energy be dedicated to anything else than making it really funny, knowing that's really what I want. I want to watch the world burn after I die.
Colton puts in his will, he's to have you send me a letter that says, you're not getting anything, but you should be here for this.
On the other side, in fucking New Zealand or some shit. All right. The only thing I ask
make
is
that
be
flight for
incredibly
sure.
wealthy with a lot of shit, so it takes me like months to fucking figure it out. Please.
I'm working on it, buddy. I'm actively trying.
Yeah. You want a boat?
Oh, that's a fucking money pit of a fucking boat that you have there, man.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, hey, Dr. Doom's wonderful having you on.
Thank you, Dr.
hey,
Doom, for coming on today.
Guys, if you made it to the end of the episode, we love it if you subscribe. Next week, we have a incredible guest coming on, Dean DeVries. Incredible. You'll love him. Following that, we have the man behind Tricycle Day, one of the most prolific psychedelic newsletter on the market. So tune in for those. But love you guys. See you next week.
Love you guys. Thank you, Dr. Doom.
I'm sorry.